Themba Maseko's activism was forged in the Soweto uprising of 1976, is a product of the struggle and has always been unfailingly loyal to the principles of the ANC. But everything changed in 2010 when, as government spokesperson, he was called to the GUPTA family's Saxon World compound and asked by GUPTA to divert the government's entire advertising budget to the family's media company. When Maseko refused to do so, he was removed from his position and forced to leave public service.
GUPTA and ZUMA was a very difficult period in my political history and my role as a public servant, because ZUMA was one of those leaders in the ANC that we had idolized. But here he was actually making a call to me, saying I must help these GUPTA brothers without telling me what kind of help they were looking for. So it turned out that the help they were looking for from me was that I must help them steal funds from the public coffers. In the meeting I had with GUPTA at his house in Saxon World, he actually told me that, in fact, ministers routinely come to the house to get instructions about what needed to happen. He volunteered information to me that he met with ZUMA on a weekly basis before he goes to his meetings at Luthuli House. So he told me that if I have difficulty getting money from other government departments, I must tell him, and he will summon the ministers to actually and give them the instructions to transfer the money to his company. So clearly there was evidence that, in fact, the GUPTAs had absolute power over ZUMA and that he was allowing them to influence decision-making in government and in state-owned enterprises.
Compelling and revelatory, For My Country shows what it takes to stand up for one's principles and defy the most powerful man in the country. For this courageous act of whistleblowing, he has been ostracized, slandered, and even threatened.
All my attempts to get a job in both the public and private sectors have failed in about 11 years. Because as far as both public and I emphasize private sectors, you as a whistleblower, you are still seen as a persona non grata, a political risk, and very few people want to be seen to be associating with you. And that's a very sad part of our recent history as a country.
The lesson learnt: in order to root out corruption, there must be sufficient protection of whistleblowers first. Tobias for CRI Radio News.